Hi guys, welcome back to Gardening with Creations by DX & Co. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about starting your seeds indoors. I've seen it is now January 31st, 2021, and I've seen a lot of people posting online, is it too early to start my seeds indoors? And I'm in Zone 6A, Michigan, and so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. So let's get started. Okay, so is it too early to start your seeds indoors? There's a lot of things that go into that factor, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. I do have some pros and cons about starting seeds indoors, as well as direct sowing, and as well as transplants or pre-grown plants. I'm going to be doing a video on that, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for that content if you're interested. But today let's talk specifically about when is it time to start your seeds indoors. So there are certain crops that actually just don't transplant well, so that's number one. Carrots are not a great type of crop that you want to start indoors. There are other root plants like your beets and or radishes. Those are all ones that you want to. So your root crops you definitely don't want to start indoors, guys. But there are cold-hardy crops, your lettuces, your kales, your your arugulas, anything that's like a lettuce. They actually thrive in the colder temperatures. Now I don't mean with snow and hard ground, so it'd be best if you start those in a greenhouse, possibly in soil, not necessarily inside. But so starting your seeds indoors are a great way, especially if you have a southwest facing window. It's typical that you actually want to start your seeds indoors about 6 weeks before your last frost date. And if you don't know your frost date, then you want to look that up on farmersalmanac.com, and I'll link that in the description below. But you can look up your exact frost date. You really don't want your seeds to be inside more than 4 to 6 weeks, because two things start happening. A, you need to transplant it to a larger pot or grow out area. Two, you need to find the source of direct light. You need a minimum of 6 to 12 hours of direct sunlight. South facing window is great. Southwest facing window is even better. But most of the time that's still indirect light that's being filtered through a window. So depending on the type of window you have, there may not be enough light for you. So now you're talking about substituting light with grow lights, which is perfectly fine. There's lots of great grow lights out there. They can get very expensive. I personally have seen the little $4 bulbs and the $5 tins. I'll show you guys at the end of this video what that looks like. And that does just fine for growing plants. You don't have to go crazy if you're doing a small amount. But if you're talking you want a large garden this year and you want to get your seeds started, it's a great way to jumpstart your season. But starting too early is a great way to ruin your season before it starts. So I really encourage you guys to be taking a step back. I know you're excited, I know you're eager, but A, make sure you're growing the right kind of seed starts inside, and B, make sure that you are paying attention to your frost date, because it's going to save you a lot of time. When your seeds start to grow and they're stretching for that light and they get leggy, most of the time there's nothing you can do. They also need good air circulation inside, and if you have a very dry house and you're not getting air circulation, or you have a very damp area you're growing them in, they can develop mold and diseases very quickly. Then you need to harden them off outside before you take them out. So not a bad thing to grow indoors. Actually, I personally grow indoors every year. I started March 1st last year, and I lost a lot of crops as a result of it. All of my cucumbers, I started over again in April. All of my tomatoes, I was able to transplant, but I had them in actual cut out orange juice cartons, and I'll show you guys that video. I'll link it at the end here, as well as put it in the description, because I had to keep upsizing. I started way too early last year, and I want you guys to benefit from my mistakes as well. So that's it, guys. Just a quick, when do I start my seeds? and some reasons why you want to be careful with starting seeds too early. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like, give it a share to somebody else, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe and notification bell as I mentioned before, so in case you guys want to see the pros and cons of starting seeds inside versus direct sowing versus just buying transplants from the store. And we'll go through all of those. I'm working on that now and get it edited for you, and hopefully you guys will get some valuable information out of that as well. Thanks a lot, guys. As always, hope you're staying safe and enjoying your gardens.